Hello friends, welcome to Bankers Platform. So friends, today we have come again with a new video, and this video will be on the RBI circular master direction of imports of goods and services. So in the last video, this is the part one video you can see on our channel. So this is the part one, and now we will discuss the part two of this import of goods and services. So let's start. So in the last video, we have discussed up to page number 15. So we'll start with page number 16. So remittance against replacement imports. So where goods are short supplied, damaged, short landed, or lost in transit, and the exchange control copy of import license has already been utilized to cover the opening of a letter of credit against the original good which have been lost. The original endorsement to extent of the value of lost good may be cancelled by the AD category 1 bank, and fresh remittance for replacement import may be permitted without reference to reserve bank, provided the insurance claim relating to the lost goods have been settled in favor of importer. It may be ensured that the consignment being replaced is shipped within valid period of the license. So AD Bank should ensure that proper remark indicator is entered in ORM, entered for ORM mark of closure of bills in IDPMS as per IDPMS guideline. So friends, some cases में क्या होता है कि like there is a damaged goods, okay, lost in transit, कोई good loss हो चुका है, but वो जो goods है वो एक्सचेंज कंट्रोल कॉपी जो है ऑफ इंपोर्ट लाइसेंस उसमें ऑलरेडी यूटिलाइज कर चुके हैं लाइक कस्टमर, देन इन दैट केस उस पार्ट को जो है बैंक्स को ओआरएम को राइट ऑफ करना होगा, ओके, क्लोजर, दे हैव टू मार्क ऑफ. सपोज दे हैव मेड द पेमेंट ऑफ 10,000 USD, okay, so 10,000 USD is done. Now when the goods are received, so out of 10,000 USD, 500 USD goods are damaged. Okay. So what will happen that for this 500, that the value will be less. Bill of entry value will be less. So that bank has to write off in ORM, mark off or closure of the bill in IDPMS. Okay. So this for the lost goods has been settled in favor of importer. This in that insurance claim relating is also settled that they have to see. Okay. Then only this will be happening. So let's see next. This is for remittance against replacement, and they have to do within the period of license, validity period of license. This you can remember. Okay. So for this, remittance against replacement imports. Next is guarantee for replacement import. In case replacement goods for defective import are being sent by the overseas supplier before the defective goods imported earlier are reshipped out of India, AD category 1 bank may issue guarantee at the request of importer client for dispatch or return of the defective good. So they have to issue the guarantee. Okay. Bank has to issue the guarantee for this defective goods according to the commercial judgment. Import of equipment by business process outsourcing company for their overseas sites. So business process outsourcing. So bank may allow BPO company in India to make remittance towards the cost of equipment to be imported and install at their overseas site in connection with setting up international call centers subject to following condition. तो ये BPO companies के लिए friends conditions है that we have to comply. Okay. The BPO company should have obtained necessary approval from Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. This you can remember that for setting up BPO, this approval is required from Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Government of India, and other authority concerned for setting up of ICC, International Call Centers. So the remittance should be allowed based on AD category 1 bank commercial judgment, the bona fide of the transaction, and strictly in terms of contract. So remittance is made directly to the account of overseas supplier. The AD category 1 bank should also obtain certificate as evidence of import from chief executive officer or auditor of importer company that goods for which remittance was made have actually been imported and installed at overseas sites. The AD Category 1 bank should ensure compliance with IDPMS guideline. Okay. Receipt of import bills document. Concern AD Category 1 bank to ensure generation of ORM, BOE entries, and BOE settlement with respective ORM in compliance with IDPMS guideline as applicable. So, receipt of import document by importer directly from overseas supplier. Import bills and documents should be received from banker of the supplier by banker of importer in India. So, the bank should not therefore make remittance where importer bill have been received directly by the importers from the overseas supplier except in following cases. So friends, here nothing that यहाँ पे यही है कि जो भी document receive हो रहे हैं that import documents are coming to bank, so bank has to make the payment, and when the bank is making payment then ORM will be generated, okay, and that ORM to be settled with the bill of entry, okay, as per the IDPMS guideline. And if importer has directly received the document. So in that case, the banker should not make the payment that they are telling here. The document should be received by banker of the supplier, by the banker of the importer. Bank should not therefore make remittance where import have been received directly by importer from the overseas supplier. And these are the exceptions. Where bill of import bill does not exceed 3 lakh dollar. Import bill received by wholly owned Indian subsidiary of foreign company from their principals. Import will receive by status holder exporter as defined in the foreign trade policy. So in cases में bank payment कर सकता है, like कोई भी status holder exporter है, okay, he has received directly import documents, so he will present the document in the bank and bank will make the payment. Okay, import bills received by all limited company, public limited, deemed public and private limited companies. Okay. Receipt of import document by importer directly from overseas supplier in case of specified sector. तो specified sectors हैं जहाँ पे जो documents है वो directly जो है importer को आते हैं. Like as sector specific, AD category 1 bank are permitted to allow रेमिटेंस फॉर इंपोर्ट बाय नॉन स्टेटस होल्डर. नॉन स्टेटस होल्डर को भी हम अलाउ कर सकते हैं कि नॉन स्टेटस होल्डर को डायरेक्टली इंपोर्ट डॉक्यूमेंट्स आए एंड दैट डॉक्यूमेंट्स ही विल सबमिट इन द बैंक एंड बैंक विल मेक द पेमेंट up to USD 3 lakh dollar, where the importer of rough diamond, rough precious and semi precious stone has received the import bill document directly from overseas supplier. Okay. So in this also some conditions are there. The import would be subject to prevailing foreign trade policy. Transactions are based on their commercial judgment and bona fides, like they're satisfied with the bona fides, KYC. So these all the common guidelines are mentioned. Okay. Receipt of documents by AD category 1 bank directly from overseas supplier. So at the request of importer client, bank may receive directly from overseas supplier as above, provided the AD category bank is fully satisfied. If they're satisfied with the financial standing status, they can receive direct documents, bank will receive and make the payment. And before extending the facility, bank should obtain a report on the each individual overseas supplier. So that is called credit report. So credit report to be taken. As per RBI guideline that we have to take the credit report of the overseas supplier when we are making the payment or if we are extending any loan. Okay, so credit report is required. So next is evidence of import. So evidence of import is nothing that is bill of entry. Okay, physical import. In case of all import, irrespective of the value of foreign exchange remitted paid for import in India, it is obligatory on part of AD category 1 bank through which the relative remittance was made to ensure the importer submits. What he submit? The importer should submit bill of entry. Okay, so bill of entry is the physical evidence of import. Evidence of import is bill of entry. In the case of export, evidence of export is shipping bill. So importers shall submit bill of entry, port code and date for marking evidence of import under IDPMS. Okay, next is customs assessment certificate or postal appraisal form. So sometime if the that import is happening through courier, okay, so then courier bill of entry will be generated. Earlier, that courier bill of entry cannot be linked with ORM, and but after 2023, 22 or 23, it has started. Now we can link courier bill of entry also with ORMs. Earlier it was not available, but now it's available. For goods imported and stored in free trade warehousing zone or SEZ unit warehouse or custom bonded warehouse, the exchange control copy of the X bond bill of entry will be generated. Okay. In respect of import on delivery against acceptance. Okay. So delivery against acceptance cases, then the bank shall verify the evidence of import from IDPMS at the time of effecting remittance. So these are again same guideline that ORM will be, they have to create ORM, and ORM has to be matched with the bill of entry. Okay. Evidence of import in lieu of bill of entry. So some cases will be there, friends, where bill of entry cannot be generated. Then in that case, what bank will do? So bank may accept in lieu of exchange control copy of bill of entry for home consumption, a certificate from chief executive officer or auditor of the company that goods for which remittance was made have actually been imported, like previously seen in the BPO case. Okay, so in that, these are the guidelines. Amount of foreign exchange remitted is less than 10 lakh, means 1 million USD or its equivalent. The importer is a company listed on a stock exchange and whose net worth is not less than 100 crore. These are the guidelines to be followed for this category. The above facility may also be extended to autonomous bodies, including scientific bodies, academic institutions such as Indian Institute of Science, IIT, whose accounts are audited by SCAG. Okay. So outward remittance message has to be created and BOE has to be downloaded from Bill of Entry Master. In case of non-EDI port, duplicate copy, custom certified copy has to be submitted. Non-physical import. Now we'll talk about non-physical import. So non-physical import means software or data through internet, datacom channel and drawing and design through email, fax or certificate from chartered accountant. Okay, so these how we will make the payment. These are also in import. So bank should advise importer to keep custom authority informed of the import made by them under this clause. So this is the operational guideline for IDPMS. So same, it will like bank will create the ORM for all the payment they are making. Okay, creation of ORM for all outstanding outward bill to be completed on or before 31st October 2016. So this is one of the guideline now expired. Okay, settlement of ORM with OE, same BOE to be linked with the ORM. That only they are telling. And this you can remember that bill of entry copy has been discontinued with effect from December 1st, 2016, as the same is available in IDPMS. So RBI is saying that bank should not ask bill of entry from the customer because once customer has done the payment and ORM is already outstanding, and by matching the details of the customer, bank can do linkage of the bill of entry with the ORM. Okay, so in order to enhance the ease of doing business and reduce transaction cost, and submission of hard copy of evidence of import is like discontinued. But still customer will give you, you can take it, but it's not necessary that customer has to give the bill of entry. He can only inform, that is also sufficient. Okay, again that bill of entry detail, bank shall enter bill of entry detail for ORM associated. Same things again and again they're telling. Extension and write off, this is very important. Extension and write off, what are the write off guidelines? So bank can consider closure of BOE ORM in IDPMS that involves write-off to extent of 5% of invoice value, where the amount is declared in BOE. Okay. So 5% of invoice value can be written off. While allowing write-off, banks must ensure that. So this you have to remember. First, case is not subject matter of any pending civil or criminal suit. It should not be in any civil or criminal suit. The importer has not come to adverse notice of ED, CBI, or any such other law enforcement agency. There is a system in place under which internal inspector or auditor of the AD category 1 bank should carry out random sample check or percentage check of write-off of import bill. Okay, so this is guideline for auditors of the bank. Extension and write-off cases not covered by extent guideline may be referred to concerned regional office of Reserve Bank of India. So verification and preservation. Internal inspector and IS auditor should carry out verification and IS audit and assurance of the bill of entry settlement process in IDPMS. So data and process followed by bank for BOE settlement should be preserved in terms of the guideline under cyber security framework in the bank. So that can be vary from bank to bank. As per their cyber security policy, bank has to preserve the data. Okay, next is follow-up of import evidence. So in follow-up that within 3 months from the date of remittance involving foreign exchange, irrespective of the value, AD category bank should rigorously follow for the next 6 months. Okay, so within 3 months, the customer has to receive the goods. They have to receive the goods, uh, and after that, next 6 month bank has to rigorously follow that whatever payment, जो भी payment bank ने की है, उसका जो goods है, that is arrived or not, and bill of entry is generated or not, that they have to follow up. And in ID payments, all outstanding import remittance, irrespective of the amount involved, should be reported by bank for the submission of a separate BF statement by AD category 1 bank would be required till the half year ended 2017. But now this BEF statement is not given by the bank because now everything is in IDPMS. Okay, next is import of gold. So the import of gold, the 2080 scheme of import of gold was withdrawn. So this scheme is already withdrawn. No need to remember. Nominated bank and nominated agency, as notified by TGFT, are permitted to import gold on consignment basis. Okay, so this you have to remember this tariff quota holder. Under India UAE CAP, as notified by International Financial Services Center Authority, will be permitted to import gold under specific ITC HS code. And for that also there are some guidelines it is mentioned. Head office of bank shall henceforth submit the following return under centralized information management. Written on half yearly basis. Okay. Written on monthly basis. Import of gold jewelry including jewelry made of precious metal or studded with diamond, supplier and buyer credit, including the usance period of letter of credit open for import of gold in any form. These all should not exceed 90 days from the date of shipment. So this gold topic is not that much important. You can skip also, friends, because we have not seen much questions. Import of other precious metal. Okay, this is important. Import of factory. Bank may enter into arrangement with international factoring companies of repute, preferably member of Factor Chain International, without the approval of Reserve Bank. They will have to ensure compliance with extant guideline for exchange direction relating to import, FTP in force, and any other guideline. So bank has to make the arrangement with this factoring companies. Okay. Merchanting trade. This is very important. Here you can expect question from merchanting trade, and many times it is asked. AD Bank may handle the merchanting trade transaction subject to following condition guidelines. For a trade to be classified as merchanting trade, goods acquired shall not enter the domestic tariff area. Means merchant trade में फ्रेंड्स जो भी है ट्रेड हो रहा है उसमें जो गुड्स है वो सपोज इंडिया में जो मर्चेंट ट्रेड हो रहा है इन दैट गुड्स विल नॉट कम टू द port of the India. That dealing will happen from suppose A is the country. Suppose our India is the country, and in India one company is there. Okay, and this company is dealing with US. Okay, so what this our Indian company will do? This Indian company will take some. Suppose Sri Lanka is there. Okay, so for Sri Lanka, this Indian company will do dealing with US, and this US person will direct send the goods to Sri Lankan company. And this Indian company, what they will do? This Indian company will firstly make advance payment to this company, then they will send the goods, and this company will make payment to Indian company. So in this, what will happen that our Indian company, suppose they have raised the US company has sold some goods for $10,000. Okay, and our Indian company is selling that same goods to Sri Lanka company at $11,000. So now they have made the payment $10,000 to US and sold at 11,000. They receive 11,000. So their commission is $1,000 will be the commission. So this is the merchant trade. In that, Indian company will only do the dealing. The goods will directly go from US to Sri Lanka. But in this, payment will be done from India only, and receive Indian company will do payment from India to US, and this Indian company will receive payment from Sri Lanka to India, and here he will get the commission. So this is the merchant trade. Okay, so in this, goods should not come to the domestic tariff area. Considering that in some cases, the goods acquired may require certain specific processing or value addition. So कुछ ऐसे goods हो सकते हैं friends, like in that our Indian company, they want to do their branding. So they will import the goods from the US. So for branding or for making some processing, they will get it, they will import in India, and they will put their branding or some additional thing they will put, and then they will send it back to Sri Lanka. Valuation, the state of goods to acquire may be allowed transformation subject to AD bank is satisfied with the documentary evidence and bona fide. Okay. So merchanting trade shall be undertaken for goods that are permitted for export import under FTP. तो जो भी goods permitted है वही goods जो है Indian company जो है वो merchant trade में कर सकती है. Like if that good is prohibited by RBI or as per the foreign trade policy, then that good cannot be traded in this merchant trade. AD bank shall satisfy itself with the bona fide of the transaction, that KYC and AML guidelines should be followed. So the entire merchanting trade is to be routed through the same AD. So suppose अगर जो customer है he is having the account with SBI, so it's not like he will get import payment in SBI and export payment he will make from the PNB. He has to do all the transaction from the same bank. The bank shall verify the document like invoice, packing list, transport document, and insurance document. Okay. If original are not available, non-negotiable copy authenticated by the bank handling document may be taken and satisfy itself about the genuineness of the trade. The AD bank may, if satisfied, rely on online verification of bill of lading, airway bill. So they have to do this investigation. Entire MTT shall be completed within an overall period of 9 months. So 9 months के अंदर ये merchanting trade complete हो जाना चाहिए. Okay. Short-term credit either by way of supplier credit or buyer credit may be extended for MTT to the extent not backed by advance remittance for export leg, including the discounting of export leg LC by the AD. Any receipt for export leg prior to the payment for import leg may park either in EEFC account or in interest bearing INR account till the import liability arise. So कोई भी अगर जो भी advance payment है जो वो एक्सपोर्ट लेग के लिए लाइक आ रहा है एडवांस पेमेंट, ओके, सो दैट विल बी पार्क इन ईएफसी अकाउंट. In case of discounting of export leg LC, where payment for import leg is still to be made, the proceeds shall be utilized in the manner prescribed at point number 2. Okay, payment for import leg may be allowed to be made out of balance in EFC. So merchanting trade may be allowed to make advance payment for the import leg on demand made by overseas supplier. So इसमें भी हम advance payment कर सकते हैं, and advance payment for import leg beyond $5 lakh per transaction shall be made against the bank guarantee or unconditional irrevocable standby letter of credit from an international bank of repute. Letter of credit to the supplier for the import leg is permitted against confirmed export order, keeping in view the foreign exchange outlay of 4 months and completion of MTT within 9 months and subject to compliance with instruction issued by Department of Banking Regulation on guarantees and co-acceptance. So these are the guidelines to be followed. AD banks shall ensure one-to-one matching in case of MTT and report default in any leg by the trader to concerned regional office of RBI. तो कोई भी अगर default होता है, that bank has to report on half yearly basis in the format as annexed within 15 days from the close of each half year, June and December. Merchant trader with outstanding of 5% or more of their annual export earnings shall be liable for caution listing. Okay, so this you can remember for merchant trade. So merchant trade shall be genuine trader of goods and not mere financial intermediary. So now write-off of unrealized amount of export leg. So this is now write-off guideline, how it will be done. So from here, you can't expect that much question, but you can read if you want to know. In write-off, again, same like whatever is unrealized amount that has to be write-off with the proper certificate and documentation. Like third party payment. Again, third party payment we have discussed. So third party payment for export and import leg are not allowed. In this, it is not allowed third party payment because there are high chances of money laundering in MTT. Okay, payment of agency commission. Agency commission is not allowed in MTT. However, AD bank may allow payment of agency commission up to a reasonable extent by way of outward remittance under exceptional circumstance. So AD Bank may approach regional office concern of Reserve Bank for regularization of MTT for deviation. So this is the reporting for merchanting trade under factors shall be done on gross basis against the under mentioned code. So for export, the purpose code is P0108. That goods sold under merchanting or received against export leg of merchanting. Import S0108. So these are the purpose code that we are using when we are making the foreign payment or we are receiving the foreign payment in banks. So merchanting trade to Nepal and Bhutan. So as Nepal and Bhutan are landlocked country, there is facility of transit trade where goods are imported from third country by Nepal and Bhutan through India under cover of custom transit declaration in terms of Government of India Treaty of Transit with these two countries. In consultation with Government of India, it is clarified here that goods consigned to importer of Nepal and Bhutan from third countries under merchanting from India would qualify as a traffic in transit. If goods are otherwise compliant with the provision of India-Nepal Treaty of Transit and Indo-Bhutan Treaty of Transit, respectively. Okay, so now it is processing of import related through online payment gateway service provided, OPGSP. So in this, bank have been permitted to offer facility of payment for import of goods and software of value not exceeding 2000. So up to 2000 का जो payment है for import, they can do from this online payment gateway. So friends, this is the end of the session. Now here some list of all the circulars are given which are covered in this. So I hope so you are understood main points we have discussed, which is important with respect to exam point of view. So thank you friends. Thanks for watching. If you have benefited from this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed. So thank you friends. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.